bit carefully, you don't take it too carefully, but yeah, look, that's not what I expected.
Quickly flooding through, right? Break off the smokes, and it's Jing in with the classics as well. They're able to kind of death ball all the way through now, and that is a very open A site.
W Gaming a little bit at its finest, a little bit delayed from the beginning, but you do like to see that they're all holding hands, get that spike plant down, and see what Marco and Freeing going to be able to do just in a retake. I mean, it's going to be difficult. Jing, Mind Freak a little bit low.
Well, Paranoia still in his pocket, though, for Jing, so he has a bit of an opportunity, but not quite the info, so just tucked away inside the pocket. Mind Freak possibly holding the angle for information. Right there it is, Jing. Does he swap to the utility? Not quite just yet. Mako still trying to get a little bit more space, but dies to the right click within close range. Freeing now. Lost and alone, it's going to be the entire swarm.
Look after that though if the trap is broken, but never mind, I say that. He is caught looking the wrong way. Bane finds Forsaken as well, and this is going perfect so far for DRX.
VAR going up against the Omen, of course, so it's Mako just trying to hold down the back lines. PaperX has to now watch out for their backs. They're even getting hit by the flash. A secondary smoke coming through, and it forces Mind Freak to push on. He does get one, but Bane makes it a trade. Jing in for another trade as well. The spike's on the ground. PaperX wants to pick it up. Something dives right in. It's down to the one-on-one. Holds the angle, but something swings!
Position at the moment, actually, for Jing. He's in the back lines, and they have no idea. Again, Forsaken, Jing just getting active around the map. That kind of might even be the round in and of itself, Quack.
And that truly has broken a lot of DRX's defensive lines. Mako trying to find something. Will be able to get a double, but something makes it a trade. Bane now flooding back into the site. He is working alongside Hyunmin. Look at how PaperX are positioned. Devi in for the straight, and now looks onto the next. Something.
The Rolling Thunder to get in towards a position here, but Hungry is flashback, and he falters.
They actually hold back, and there it is. You mentioned the Rolling Thunder, and they could very well be setting up for it right now.
Neural Theft in, that's all the information that you want. Rolling Thunder does go towards the seaside. You got the Armageddon too.
And there it goes. Definitely keeping them trapped in. It does take away Freeing's life. Something in with the next, and Mind Clone. Fault line. Paranoia completely blinding Freeing as well. Forsaken gate crashes all the way towards the back and kind of marks Hyunmin's angle. Still though, with a bit of a strafe, he takes down Jing. At least Devi and Something will have each other's backs, and with that, the site completely flooded. Flashback, however, tries to get ahead, deny any.
Plant goes down as well.
Back into it as well. Holds it down, finds Something.
Oh, does he know?
And it's a low HP Devi.
I think he knows.
It's an up in hand though, but there it is, the shock dart! You said it, he knows it, he gets the round for DRX.
I'm not sure if the gun barrel was just spotted. It's such a tight line on the corner of Oaks. It means you have to try and find a little bit of timing for PaperX at the moment, and I thought Mind Freak might have had it, but Marco stepping up when you need a leader to the most.
Quick bits of micro movements as well, and that is going to be DRX finding that timing against a Mind Freak, but now into it, off in the hand of Hyunmin, blocks out Garage, Spike's been dropped. Forsaken though, still looking to get aggressive. Straight into it, he finds a triple, tries to go for the next spray, but gunned down by Bane. The salvos go out, and Devi will turn this into a one-on-one. Look for the tap, Flashback gets it instead!
For a drop out toward the heavens, and it looks like it might just be the holding of the side at the moment. Bane Flashback getting active.
And they found him, that's a couple more time though. Mako also continuing to push out a paper. Further information, DRX pretty much has an idea of what PaperX are trying to do, and with that, the angle's being held, the op shots fired.
Well, standard things, but unfortunately for Freeing, gonna be the casualty of the bullets.
Yeah, just a couple of shots blindly through the cage, and he does find something. A kill, that is, not the player.
Kind of passive for PaperX at the moment, don't mind it. Bit of a garage look after for them. Oh, Fire dispatched off, however. And that's going to be the B site that you want to start to get aggressive on. Though I'm looking at the other members of DRX. How are you going to get Bane in this? How are you going to get Flashback? If you're trying to tap on towards the plant, you're trying to set Hyunmin in for a bit of a sneaky-beaky play, but it's the one-to-one trade. And now you actually have managed to get in towards this A site. Does Forsaken know? It's empty space.
He certainly suspects it, thus not making too much noise as he heads back onto Heaven. Meanwhile, though, the rest of the team just circling back up. They do have the Fault Line Paranoia combo. That allows Forsaken to at least get one. Still trying to get ahead, take the initiative, deny that spike plant, but Bane will hold his ground. A single tap and forced to hang back and reload. Still, though, audio cues be damned. Something has a flashpoint in his pocket. Looks for the right timing. Senses a bit of a fake. now slowly creeps up. Bane looks to stick, and there it is, the flash sent through. It doesn't quite blind him though, and Bane will...
Seaside at the moment, they're going to have a quick wrap around on towards Mindfreak. He's gone. Do they expect, however, Jing to still be in here? Because it looks a little bit awkward for him. Good for one.
Yeah, and that is going to be an effective flood nonetheless. Paper X continuing to try to rotate forward. It's going to be a bit of a gate crash for Forsaken as well, or am I seeing a UI bug? Not too sure. Nonetheless, they are still coming in, but then denied out by Mako with a share.
Utility that you want to do to get in towards the sites, and I'm looking at it. No, it is just going to be Mindfreak at that C site to bunker down. Jing falls first, overlooking something at the moment though, so at least a little bit of a later trade in the mix, trying to get on in. That's so awkward for that spray, but look at Flashback, he's got in the backlines.
Yeah, that's not too bad. 2 for 1. Flashback into the backlines. He sends out a second one and looks to infiltrate behind enemy lines. Divine and takes initiative off of that scenario and finds one. A tap from Forsaken down to Flashback in a sudden 1-on-2. Goes for the peek. And he will take down Forsaken. Could this be the quad? It is! Comes a bit of a clone sent through. Armageddon to clear out short. Forsaken starts his assault out from heaven. 3 kills down, and down with the salvos as well. Divine picks up the last one. Paper Rex find their way back in. Rex all coming in. They're just looking to provide that additional support, and there it is. Even with a second flash, it's not going to be enough. Something will get gunned down, and that's the entire C-long area being controlled by DRX. A tough defuse going through. Mindfreak, though, nonetheless, still trying to stick it, but here comes that Hunter's Fury. He gets lazed, and all that's left.
Of this retake here. I got to highlight as well, right? You mentioned Marco going for that little because
goes more information found. Defy, though, open positions, and that's going to be Bane punishing them right down. Hyunmin off towards the back of A as well. Forsaken, the only one left. In with a Phantom, quick in towards the... Have to consistently watch their back. That is nothing too comfortable. You're gonna always feel like someone's right behind you, and as they push on out, it's a choke poke. That one way is blocking so much of it off. As soon as it blooms away, it's gonna be Hyunmin now finding the shot back in. Straight in with the Sheriff's though. Flashback will get gunned down, and here it comes. Bane back in towards a safer spot. Trades for trades, and Freeing will take the next player down. Mindfreak even gunned down from the back. All that's left is just Divide. The spike not yet planted. 20 seconds left. What?
Yeah, Marco holding out in mid. Very nice timing as well to just recognize that there's a potential flank to come through from Paper X, and at the end of all the damage that is delivered on the A site, Freeing on 2 HP, and Marco still on 100 is what is left for DRX to pretty much continue the flawless run from our first map. But Divide here, 10 seconds off the 0 point, but spotted out.
Yeah, and you gotta imagine Freeing's just playing from a very safe spot. He's holding on to those salvos for sure. So the first obstacle, you gotta break through Divide. It's gotta be Mako. He's still playing around the boxes so much though. A bit of a tag, it's not gonna be enough. Divide needs to push up front, and as he does, he's gonna be exposing himself to more angles. Mako's got this under lock and key. Just in the nick of time, Paper X might have the site surrounded, but at the same time, Mako still not detected. Divide will look to launch the assault straight in. Takes that one pick off against Flashback. And at the same time, Forsaken's still alive. No utility though, so he's just gonna have to gun his way through. Takes down Freeing, and all that's left, Bane and Mako all the way towards the back. They have the spike under their sights. Looking to play around that though, but the reload not in his favor. Forsaken will swing, but Mako swings as well. That's a shot, a trade for trade. And down it's just Mindfreak around the toxic screen. Mako work against Paper X's dismay. At the same time, Flashback coming up from behind. Bane repositioning around as well. The pit might fall, and Paper X might be able to push up, but you are absolutely right, Komodo. They are running out of time. Bit of Teho utility. The Armageddon rings through. They're off of the spike. They might have yellow under control, but do they find the frags? That is the key here. Something tries as he does. He manages to take away 2, but needs a little bit more. Flashback suddenly now up from behind reveals the surprise. Exactly what Paper X has to do. Here it comes. Quick dashes in. Ooh, but instantly gunned down. The entire Korean squad will deny Forsaken any early space. Spike dropped into safe positions as well. The Armageddon sent through. Mindfreak being able to hold down the entire B by himself. Hello, that's good. And at the same time now, continuing to push out front. Divide off the null command, unfortunately gunned down. Still kind of ringing through, pulsing away with his ultimate, but his teammate now coming back in for support.
Sniffing things out with the drone as well. Feels like you're not going to be able to get Divide back on up. The trades start to coming out. It's all Mindfreak.
As his head gets revealed as well. Flashback trying to work around it. Still looking to play the objective. The spike will go down. Mindfreak just tries to delay a little bit further with the snakebite. Might be able to cut himself through. He hears the tap at the very least, but not quite finding a position. Still has to watch out for a flashback. There it is, at least the first kill. Nanoswarms instantly popped, and flashback looks to play around the wall. But Mindfreak, steady as ever, to the top of Tube. Doesn't see anything though, and that's where his refract gets called out. Mindfreak comes back in just to help out his fallen teammate. At the same time though, DRX still working all the ways around the map. Flashback takes down the next player, Something.
Yeah, but you immediately just turn tail and run over towards the A side because you got the kill here from the back of flashback, from the shadows to quickly get a plant. This buys so much time in the rotation actually from Paper X right now. Device low. Mindfreak has a pit, but you got to get into the site to even try and use that. I wouldn't be surprised if you just go for a save here.
Noses every single round, whether it's back onto the other end of the sites. This time though, Forsaken will be able to sneak up onto Nest and get one for free.
Yeah, freeing down. That's a lot of your scaling utility to sniff out what's around the site down as well. Now you'll just play by the numbers, doubling up in towards the elbow. When you've got a little bit of lesser equipped players, Something only down onto the Sheriff, you need to see a little bit of corners be cut, but you're not really seeing too much from Paper X. An opening kill, and then everyone's just covering a base.
Setup. Just trying to mark for it as well. Off angles all being held. Swaps up over onto the top of pipes. That's Mako down. The next player as well, Forsaken, just throwing off crosshair placements with a refract. And Bane trying to stay alive. Spots up Forsaken, but the salvos continue. Stealth drone out. Still though, wow, look at this setup. A bit outside the window. It turns out to be a high-low lockdown in place as well now.
Yeah, and that lockdown is going to flush Mindfreak out of his pit, so that's an ultimate for an ultimate exchange and affords you a little bit of time to get a plant. Meanwhile, Mako finds the timing on the flank as well, and Hunman found Mindfreak too.
Yeah, and off those positions now, Paper X find themselves in a tougher spot. Forsaken just having to hold outside. Needs to look for Mako before he even gets close to screens. Sends in the stun though, and that's the headshot through. Off to the other end, it's just Jing trying to work alongside his brother, basically. In with the ult, but it doesn't quite find anyone. Might just give him a bit of space, but is it going to be enough? A frag through, Jing goes for the tap. Forsaken onto the other side, but no! Freeing spots him out instead! But still, at least he confirms that where DRX is heading towards. Back into it, that's a bit of a snake bite, but Jing holds true. Bane though, what is this? All the way towards the back of Raptors, and he finds a couple! Now down to it, Something and Mindfreak trying to reclaim space, but timing's already been lost and afforded to DRX. Viper's Pit up and online.
Timing now. It's timing for Something. How far forward can he get to try and offset this deficit?
Yeah, trying at the very least, but working up around pipes is just too much to clear. Mako get in, but Fring has his as well, so they go in towards the back, looking for Fring instead, and just as right, they managed to take him down. Bane now trying to hold back. The Armageddon gets sent through. Not quite finding Bane though, but he does kind of reposition even further in. The clock continues to tick against Paper X, but Forsaken makes quick work. And he gets another tap. 2 kills already, and now Hyunmin in for another. Something alongside Jing, and they've spotted drone up as well. Hyunmin tucks himself into the corner. Whoa, wait, Forsaken knew where he was, but he was still able to get the headshot nonetheless. In with the timing on the recoil. Still, Paper X will continue to push on through with a bit of a contact play. Something Jing just flooding back sight. They managed to get it done. The spike gets planted. Mako arrives towards screens at the right time, but needs to spot everyone out. Toxic screen comes up though, and that's where now Paper X gets to hang back. Mako has got quite a bit of work cut out for him.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll take some decay going through that as well, so you really want to try and not do that if you're in a 1 versus 3. Now position being spotted, I mean, this is going to be extremely difficult for Mako.
Okay. Well, he has been known to pull off insane clutches, but I don't think it's going to happen quite in this round. Paper X, they have him completely surrounded. Not too much for now. They're still playing on defense, of course, and now in with the ascended position, Hyunmin will be able to pick 2 off. Just like a eagle soaring through the skies now. Paper X scrambling, looking for some sort of safety, but I don't know if it's going to be found, Komodo. I mean, take a look at the minimap.
Yeah.
Free is all the way up towards down mid.
And you've got no quick availability to get across in towards yellow either here, right? So you kind of need to combine a dart and a good shot. You need an overextension here, essentially, from DRX to kind of give you ways back into a round for Paper X.
Yeah, you said it during the halftime break. Fundamentals is what DRX does so well, and they're doing that all across the map. Mako holding down around yellow. It allows Hyunmin to push into a further position as well, and at this point, something just has to peek, go for anything. Finds a double, which is pretty good for now. 40 seconds left on the clock.
Is this where it gets scary?
Maybe. He is continuing to play it safe, though. Gave a bit of a jump peek. The paranoia sent through and forced DRX to scramble on the A site. Meanwhile, Forsaken straight in with the light speed. Stinger at hand. He closes in the distance. 2 headshots and Mind Freak off on another.
Playing that weapon to a T. Stinger straight in. I'll add on the back of that Hunter's Fury tagging him up as well, right? Recognizing that you can quickly, you are just going to waylay ult right on in. As I said, cuts off half of the site.
Right behind you. Well, that's Forsaken, but Bane, okay, he just leaves it to his teammates. Forsaken continuing to get further space, trusting his teammates to watch his back. Bane does go down. Divine now continuing with the push in towards backside. 2 kills to his belt, and that's now Hyunmin trying to work alongside screens. A good kill to start things off, though.
2 players really low, Something and Divine. Those are the ones on the site at the moment with Mind Freak to get a bit of a flank.
That's exactly what he's looking for. Finds the timing on the peak as well. Still though, Paper X controlling down mid. Does work out for them so far. Forsaken continuing onward with that refract. Does get further information, but look at this. Bane all the way down mid, down A. He's able to take away at least 2. The Armageddon now gets sent through.
Yeah, stalling for time at the moment to afford a bit of rotations and re-clearing in towards mid if there was anybody else there. Now you got a player advantage as DRX as well.
Okay, a bit of a stun, but nothing quite found. Jing at least disperses the positioning, and on with that, a bit of an Armageddon set through as well. Forsaken now off of the initial ult, will be able to find another player playing all around the bottom though. It's gonna be Mako working alongside Hyunmin, but still
Hard to consider with footsteps, with the abilities, but they are hanging around this A site for the moment.
very much so, especially with that 0 point, but all of a sudden now Paper X continues with the aggression. Mind Freak, Defy, they've managed to push up through. The Viper Spit gets deployed, and as though Flashback tries, it's not going to be quite enough. And that's going to be the spike now planted. Mako just looking for the sprays. It's 3 targets ahead of him, Komodo, but you don't have vision, you don't have information. For that mid-round play down, well, mid lane, they do spot a player out though, and Forsaken looking for the opportunity to possibly set the ultimate, but not quite yet, as DRX have all of these positions locked down, especially up by Upper, especially up by Kitchen now. Forsaken looking to push on through. Time is of the essence, but at the same time, DRX, they might not have the best guns, but they're still holding a lot of these positions. Paper X, Forsaken trying to break on through. There's the ult. Finally gets popped. 10 seconds remaining though. Where is the spike? Forsaken now gets into safety. Finally getting the bomb now down, delivered through. Bane though,
They know he's stuck.
quick and through, and he's found Mind Freak. Mako trying to work along the position, plays around the safe angle, quick strays back and forth, but Forsaken, he actually finds it. Down to just Bane, but where could he be? Oh! A little bit wider than before! Play coming out from Paper X.
All that utility just dumped on towards him, and he hasn't been able to get out of yellow, but somehow he's able to find it whilst hindered. He needs assistance from his teammate, but he's just going to do it all himself. Traded eventually in a 3 versus 3.
He pulled out the blades, but yeah, unfortunately gunned down. Still though, up around yellow. Can Paper X find enough footing, enough space to get the spike down? Not quite, because they gotta imagine DRX already have rotated over.
Marco's been holding on to this Viper's pit for quite a while as well, so you might look to see him use it this round if they do need.
Yeah, Paper X possibly trying to bait it out, but still off of the tap. Jing up around yellow does spot out one of these players. That's gonna be Bane. At the same time, given how the map is playing out, it's gonna be Mind Freak slowly creeping up all the way out tube. DRX has no earthly idea. Mako, though,
It's just the jewels at the front of the B site, and there's a lot of Paper X members here at the moment, and they are going to successfully win that one.
I know, a big old flash as well, Komodo, and that's going to be now Freeing trying to hang back.
Yeah, but look at what Flashback's able to do. Find some space over at the side of rubble. Meanwhile, Freeing is going to dodge out that drone too. So does that give you a false sense of security? Repositions around the map currently for Paper X, more towards the C side of things, and with that damage done in towards the Breakable Door, that's got to let you know that you got to get away from this A side, or rather get over towards it.
All quick and heavy-handed as well. You know, trade protocols right there outside of the dark cover on towards C. And that leaves, you know, numbers disadvantage for DRX, even though Flashback has gotten in towards the back of A site, especially towards drop. Actually, into a deep position like that, do you reckon that they might be able to do something against Paper X?
It's a 2 versus 4. You've got to get a little bit aggressive in this one to try and find some advantage or equalization, which is why Flashback goes up there to try and find the kills. Good for one, but spotting info on the rest means that for Mako, this has to be a big clutch.
Has done it before. Starts out with a bit of a paranoia to flush them into his own smoke. Look at that. Right click through. And now just 2 players on the other end. Ooh, a good little flick, but Jing! Fair and true enough, but at the same time, you know, even with that little bit of a fall, Paper X continues to drone outwards. I was thinking maybe something continues to push out through from pillars, but yes, C is completely open now.
Yeah, but they're going to still try and go towards A, and that is where majority of these members of Paper X are. 30 seconds to go. That's a marathon to go over towards this C side, but they're going to start to do that.
Left.
At least get enough time to try and get the plant and establish it. They've picked up the weapons that are on the floor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Komodo. I mean, it might be a marathon, but even as you just trigger that door a little bit, it keeps Paper X on the A side.
Yeah.
Paper X are thinking, we've got the guns, we need to work around this. So they are still trying to stack towards this A side, but unbeknownst to them, now it's a 3-on-4. Now it's weapons in the hands of DRX.
And this is one of those weird scenarios as well as Paper X. Do you just consider the save at the moment because it's lesser, you know, numbers to go for this retake? Where
Called by Forsaken in towards a safer spot. But here we go, a nightfall out from Bane. And at the same time, he'll be just lurking, hovering around the B site. He does spot one player out, and that's going to be the Vi that falls. And then DRX to try to regress in towards the A position, but that's where they get gunned down.
a retake here towards the A side if they wanted, or rather a quick flank, and now the jig is up. They know, Freeing down for the count. Something here, though, has gone unnoted for the time.
Still just to try to keep himself hidden out towards stairs. His team will regroup.
That's cheeky. That actually allowed something to get in towards the dark cover and buy some more time for the rest of the team to start to get over here for the retake.
Oh, okay. Flashback does get back in towards Tree. Hyunmin, though, still holding the position. Armageddon sent through by Divine, but it's not going to help out all too much. Not quite, as DRX continues to hold.
Toxic Serene a little bit earlier on over towards the B and A side of the map. Usually can play good operator plays behind it, but for the beginning stage of this round at the moment, operator's looking at the wrong spot. Mind Freak gets traded out. That's a C site open for the taking for DRX.
Yeah, timing on the refract not quite there once again as well. That's something got to watch out for. And in with the C's, it's going to be something that gets tagged up. The next player to fall, the dominoes, they just keep going. Flashback off to another kill up around Waterfall, and that's just a Vi left. Alone and cold, the Prowler just seeking his position as well. I mean, this guy's got to hang back.
Yeah.
Anything possible just to reclaim a bit more space. So Paper X, that's what they're looking for right now. Hence, a couple players up around Mount. DRX knows that, though, and Freeing just marks their backs. DRX continues to hold them further off, and now it's going to be Mako blocking off Waterfall as well. Even with the ultimates, Paper X can't quite get in position until Forsaken finds this one frag off the other side of the doors. However, Flashback has snuck on through as well. A bit of a shot with the Sheriff. Showstopper in at the hands of Hyunmin, and now Jing comes back in. Time not on Paper X's side, and Flashback just plays it safe. Hangs away.
Paper X, where you've got the pit over towards C, and you're just going to forget about that as DRX. You're just going to sniff around the A site and what you can do. Flashback does get taken out, though, by Jing, so we do equalize for the moment.
Oh, straight back into the door. That smoke, it just blocks off so much and allows for Hyunmin to walk away with the kill. If that pit falls, that's going to be trouble for the C side as well, so Mind Freak just still trying to hover around it. But as soon as that kill goes off, Paper X starts to get a read that DRX is rotating off to the only other part of the map, and that's going to be the B site. As that happens, Mako into a bit of an off angle, does force a bit of a trade. Jing might be able to find it, but instantly, Freeing finds the positioning right back at the end of B, but not too much at work for information on the ends of PRX. The clone instantly sent out, and that throws something off. Forsaken, though, trying to work around Baby Door, but he gets gunned down as well. 2 players remaining. That's Mindfreak and Jing trying to work along opposite ends of the map.
Yeah. Individually, I mean, if they're able to find another kill or 2 apiece, that would give them the shift to the rounds.
Hyunmin. And that will be extra information for DRX as well. I mean, this is what they get to do. I think the spike this early on. Mindfreak, though, snuck in towards the back. Instantly alerts 2 players from DRX. A bit of a high-low, and it's too much for him to handle.
Yeah.
All that's left is just Jing. And PaperX instantly into C. Forsaken trying to throw off some crosshairs with that refract and the dash as well. And it allows for Divide to actually sneak on through. Forsaken double backing in off of that little smoke. And that's 3 kills already for PaperX.
Yeah, nicely done to open up this C side as well. And I feel a little bit hard done by for the DRX members there because they're just on the ledges and it moves them up just ever so slightly and they have to readjust their aim and they're not able to in the middle of the fight. But this is looking to be a sensational pistol to come out from PaperX. It's going to be flawless at the end of it for C-Link here.
Okay, they might be able to find that stack up towards Freeing. Mindfreak, as I mentioned, has control over pillars, and with that as well, a possible angle into the spike. He does have
Missed Molly.
A bit of, yeah, I was going to say the Poison Cloud, but still, at least the salvos come back in from Jing, or from Divide at least. But still, that DRX continues to flat forward. Ooh, just trying to keep him at bay. Something low HP, but has to land the headshot. Freeing crouches underneath the crosshairs.
These pistols, I mean, you need to be in close proximity with crossfires to do damage.
Oh, and with that, the flash and the execute now falling through. Forsaken, though, off alongside the smokes. He's able to find 3, but Hyunmin finds his own as well. The Phantom picked up, and that's going to be Mindfreak and Divide.
Spotting some information if you can. Oh, Refract's timing is actually out, so Forsaken is stuck here. Has to hold it through as Hyunmin falls.
Yeah, he did throw out the stun. Does find Freeing, and there it is. Into the B site as well, as the ult does its job of throwing a wrench in the plans of how DRX wanted to operate across the round. It's just Mako now. Spots out towards the back, though, and that's Forsaken gone. Smoke back in. He goes onto a bit of a tap. Plays around the edge. The snake bite not quite burning at his feet.
Yeah.
Goes for the reload, though, and that's the second ultimate being baited out from PaperX. Mako, I think he's done his job. Whether or not he wins the round, he's gotten effective utility away from PaperX.
Oh,
now just looking for a possible kill or 2. And there it is, the first one. Salvo off, and he walks right into it. DRX pretty much have a lot of it under control now. Forsaken looks to pull the attention away. Unfortunately, instantly tapped down by Mako. 3 players remaining, Komodo, and they look to flood into the B site. They might get the spike down, but look at Flashback in with the dimensional drift, holding on to possibly the clone. He doesn't have any more flashes.
He got all the information on the positions.
And that's exactly what he was looking for with his team. Rolling Thunder from something, though, just kind of luring them into the site, but unfortunately, they don't quite get stunned up by it. And with that, now Divide has to pull something out of the hat. He doesn't have utility anymore as well. Just sprays on through, but reloads to be damned. It's going to be Freeing, sticking the defuse all the way in. Okay, quick and fast into the site at least, but look at this site. I mean, Forsaken couldn't see a single thing on his screen. Everything all blocked off. Now something on a bit of lurch, spotted out by Hyunmin as well. The site being reclaimed by DRX as Mako picks up the double. Looks to hold the position outside the door, in with a showstopper as well.